All right, we're doing some action. So, where have I been? I haven't posted a video in a while. Well, I ran into some problems. And that's how we end up at Bill Thomas Performance Horses. Because when you have a problem, you get it fixed. And I really didn't have a problem. I didn't know if I had one. So what was going on is when I was putting the cinch on her, she started picking her foot up. And not a big deal, but it's like, you know, she's been saddled 100 times. And then she started doing that. And then I had been walk trot and then getting into the lope. And she started giving me some problems. Didn't really want to go. And it was like when I get on her and then squeeze, head goes down, ask her to go forward, just like a broke gelding 10 years old. Perfect. 3 weeks, every day getting better. And then I get on her one day and like the day after I had perfect ride, and she didn't want to go forward, and she'd been picking her foot up to the cinch, and then she turned around. She knows better than to bite me, so she's not going to bite me, but she's like, I thought she was maybe trying to tell me something, and all she was trying to do is tell me that she needs work. But I didn't know that. So I just wanted to bring her to Bill's, have my horse, have him watch me, just do everything I do, and see if there's anything wrong with my horse. Because I'm reading her like nothing's wrong with her. But I'm getting, you know, it's like, is her belly hurting? I'm looking at her poop and stuff and trying to figure out, you know, is she just a coming 3-year-old now this year? Is she just being a horse? So I brought her here, and then what we got is she just was giving me some resistance. So I had to figure out a way. So you don't want to really hurt your horse, but you got to get it through their head, not to kill you. So I got one of these things. And I just started smacking her a little bit when she picked her. Because when I'm reaching under here to grab this, I don't want her picking her foot up. And so we got to get her straightened out without hurting her. Because we want to do it in a way that's going to get it done and not hurt the animal. And so, I don't want to kick her with my boot or something that's going to do more harm than good. So I got that. And then when I was on her, she didn't want to go forward, reaching around. Like she was, I didn't know. I was like, man, is something wrong with my horse? It's just one day I get on her and then all of a sudden she don't want to mind. And that's just her personality. And I thought it was, but I didn't know. So I come here, I'm just like, watch me do everything. And I helped create the problem a little bit because I didn't follow through. And you can see how good she is. But I needed a professional to look at my horse and say, hey. And that's basically what I did. I come in, saddled her up, and I had fixed a little bit of the problem, most of the problem before I got here because, I smacked the saddle and stuff with that to get her to go forward. And then, basically was telling her not to be picking her foot up when I cinched her. So I kind of had it more or less fixed when I got here, but I had 2 or 3 days of a struggle. So I was like, I just want you to watch me. So I bring her here. I had the day before, I had kind of quit on a good note riding her. Kind of, told her not to be lifting her foot up. So I get here and then we had a little bit of it left. There was a little bit of resistance when I got on her, but ended up just being a 2, she's 3 now. And it just ended up being a horse thing. It's like, what's your problem? Well, I have a horse. Let's just go with that. That's, getting started. And so came here, and I know you guys want to see me ride her. Walk, trot, lope. And you will. But I just wanted to do a video talking and explaining to you where the situation, and when you start having a problem with a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, it's always good to have somebody, even if you're professionals, even have people say, hey, look at this horse, look what it's doing. Because you need to get more eyes on it to make sure you're not gonna start abusing an animal maybe when it's hurt or not. You just need help. Everybody does. And so I wanted to get some eyes on her. I had a couple people watching too, and other people. And so that's where we're at. We just came here to have him put eyes on her. I got her riding frickin' golden. I'm sore. But I'm gonna get her on here loping, and I'm not doing very good right now because I'm talking. But you can see how good she moves. Oh, so I'm getting this lope dialed in, and it just takes me a while to do stuff because I'm practicing, and I kind of know how to do things in my head, but I haven't practiced enough. And timing is everything to get something done with these horses. And that's really what I'm working on, and reading them. That's the whole thing about reading my horse, working with her every day for 3 weeks. I think I missed 2 days. And then one day come in, read my horse's body language and her mental, where she's at mentally, to the best of my ability. And I'm like, oh, there's a problem coming. Like, she's lifting her foot up at her belly. And then when I get on her, ask her to go forward, she starts throwing her head, not wanting to go. And I'm like, well, I needed to cowboy up. And so, and to cowboy up on her, if she does ever figure out a way to get me to quit by bucking, we got a problem. We need to have somebody that's younger than me riding her. And so I brought her here. I was like, okay, see what's going on. If she wanted to start bucking, he's got a guy here that can, get that handled, because the last thing I need her to do is learn that she can start bucking, get me off, and then I quit. Not even necessarily quitting, just if she bucks me off and I get hurt and can't get back on her, she needs to get rode. And so I did everything, but if she did, because she's really athletic, if she did buck or something and she was able to get me off and I did get hurt and wasn't able to get back on, I wanted to make sure I had somebody to handle it. So I came here, and that's what we're doing. We're getting it done. And everything went perfect. She loped off, walk, trot, lope, rode her, got it all fixed up. But I didn't know. And I did know that she's a thinker, so if she's trying to figure out a way to get me to quit, well, that ain't gonna work, because I'm smarter than her. I had backup. I had a backup plan. Come here, do what I know needs to be done, what I think I know needs to be done, but I don't know. So, and I was able to put the pressure on her to get her moving, and then she didn't do nothing, which I didn't think she would, but man, if she did, boy, I'll tell you what, the last thing I need to do is have this horse figuring out to buck to get somebody off so she don't have to work. We don't need none of that. And so that's where I'm at. I mean, you can see how good she is, kick rider, but you go through them spots, which I don't know nothing about going through spots on starting 2-year-olds. I've, I started 5 horses in my life. And it works the way it works. When you need to add pressure and get them through a sticky spot, you have to cowboy up. And that's what I did. But if the cowboy up needed to be somebody younger, then that's what I needed to do. And so that's where we're at with the horse. I had to just get some eyes on her, to get her figured out, what was, where she was at and where I was at. And I cowboyed up on her and we got it done without any real hard time. I mean, it was pretty relatively easy to do, but I didn't know how far she was going to go with the resistance, and she didn't go. She knows me. I'm not going to put up with bad behavior, but at the same time, her athletic abilities and my athletic abilities do not match. I'm old and she's young. If I was 20 and she was 2, we'd match up perfect. But this is where she's at on my groundwork, perfect, which, I'd like that hip over a little bit more, but it's called dialing it in. You want it perfect right off the bat, and it's just not, you got to dial it in. So my big thing is when I'm working with a horse is, me personally, is she's soft and easy right now, and her head's down and she's relaxed, and she needs to get her hip over more. So I'm going to ask her, move that hip more, but then see the head comes up a little. And I want that. I don't necessarily, it's not just about the head coming up or down. It's like when I add pressure, does she stay soft? Because that's what I'm doing. I'm starting a horse, and as I'm starting her, I'm going to ask for more and more and more. So as I'm asking for more and more and more, I'm adding pressure. And when I start a horse, that's basically what I'm teaching them to do, is deal with pressure. I'm going to add it, and I'm going to add more, and then I'm going to add a lot and check and see where she's at. And then I'll back down and go back to that spot where it was too much. And then once you get to that point, then when you're sitting on them and you need to teach them to do something and they're giving you some resistance, you can add that pressure, get through it without them coming unglued, because you taught them to deal with pressure on the ground. And then you can stay alive. And that's what we're doing, trying to stay alive. Starting a 2-year-old, 100%. If I work with this horse for an hour today, a kid could come in here, sit on this horse, and walk around on it. 100%, without question. And is she going to stay like that? Nope. Probably never going to stay like that. She's probably always going to need to be tuned up to have her safe for somebody without experience. And it's probably going to take me a good year to get her to stay good where I can let her set and get on her and tune her up. Right now, if I let her set, that's why I came here. I'm like, I got 0 time to let this horse set. And because then I'm just going to have to start working harder to get her back where she's at. So I got to stay consistent with her, keep her going every day, not a lot, just a little bit, until I get her to a point to where she can set for a month or 2 and, not worried about getting, because she's a hot one. She likes to move. So I add some pressure and get her going forward a little bit faster. She's getting pretty good. But I got a lot of work to do on groundwork. I got a lot of work to do with everything. The blessing with her is she does make me have the work to do. And if you want to get better, you're never going to get better getting horses that don't make you figure stuff out. And she makes me be my best. And what that is right now is just me practicing to get my best. But I didn't think I was going to be able to ride her because of how she don't react. I mean, all horses react, and she has a reactive mind just like any other horse. But she, if you look at my video of when I got her 3 months and I did that little short TikTok, and I was lunging her around with very little pressure, she was bucking and just being fresh, but she was thinking. Because when I said, whoa, she stopped and turned and faced me while she was bucking, standing up, acting like a wild animal, not reactive mind. She heard me say, whoa, she did what they do, but she was thinking through all that wildness because that's her personality is, let's go. And I love that. So with a horse that's thinking and doing that kind of stuff, it's a whole different ball game, because if a horse reacting and doing it, all you got to do is teach them to think and not react. And then once you do that, then you're good. With her she's not in a reactive mind. Her brain's working perfectly fine and she's doing it. So it's like, holy crap, I just got to be good. And being good is knowing that, the day I got her out, and then, I'm 4 weeks into this now where she's good. I mean, she's not going to buck me off. But if I let her set, if I run into a situation and then I let her set for 3 or 4 days or whatever, then I got to kind of get started back up all over again. And, I got to just keep going. But we're going to do some riding videos of her. But I just wanted to talk to you about where we're at with the horse and having somebody professional help you. Even professionals need help, just to look at something. They take their horses to the vet. Peace out.